everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 2519, Skeleton Bowling from the LEGO Ninjago theme. This set contains 371 pieces, 7 minifigures, and originally retailed for $29.99 in the US when it first released back in 2011. This video is of course a part of my Ninjago throwback review series, so let me know in the comments which set you want to see a throwback review on next. It could be any set from 2011 to 2018, and while I don't have them all, I do have a lot of them, so let me know in the comments which one you want to see. If you guys want to check out which throwback reviews I've already done, there'll be a link in the description to my full throwback reviews playlist, but now let's get on to this review. So here's the build of the Skeleton Bowling set, and this was one of many spinner arena sets released in 2011. However, this one was especially interesting because it was focused on single-player gameplay. While a lot of other arena sets were about battling your spinner against other spinners, this is a game with a spinner that I guess could use multiple, but is meant to be played on your own. So to start off, let me show you how it works. You can see we've got these 6 skeletons lined up in the center right here. You can place these however you want. This is like a traditional bowling pin layout, but if you wanted to arrange them like more sporadically, you could. Then you take your spinner. It could be the JDX one that comes in this set, or just one from your own collection. Give him a weapon. By default, his weapon is just this black katana. And then you try to spin him into the skeletons to knock over as many as you can. There we go, we got them all. You can see, of course, these skeletons fly all over the place. And then, as I mentioned, you can stack it back up, do it again, rearrange them in different ways. But now let me show you the actual build behind it all. And so around the sides, you just have like this barrier to enclose the arena, and it's just got some very basic dojo theming. There's a few studs where you can place minifigures if you want, and then a few stickered flag pieces. There's one of these on both sides, and these came in a lot of the 2012 Ninjago sets. You can see the build on both sides is exactly the same. And then there's like this rubber pipe at the bottom, so that way if the spinner bumps into it, it bounces off very easily. Make sure the spinner itself doesn't interact with the main build. There's also a tactical on one side and a tactic pin on the other. So if you want to get multiples of this set or combine this set with other like arena sets, you could, or even just build your own creation to extend this. The idea is it's meant to be a little bit modular. And then at the very back, you have these larger structures that hold weapons on them. Now these are meant to be extra weapons to change up how the skeleton bowling goes. So you have these giant spears in the center, and they're of course just on clips so you can remove them, give them to Jay. And this side you can see also has 2 silver katanas. And then on the other side you have another one of those 5-point spears, but instead of the katanas you have axes this time around. Again, each of those can be removed to give it to Jay if you want. This little ball at the base is actually a flick missile, so it can be used as just another obstacle for the spinner. You can have it shoot out while the spinner's going. You can see around the back, you just push in right here or flick it. And then in the center, we have another post right here which holds 2 more weapons, and then it also has a scoreboard. Now this piece I believe was repurposed from LEGO Bionicle at the time, and you can use it to track how many pins were knocked down. You can see it counts from 1 to 5, and then there's also a skull face. So I suppose you could use the skull face to represent either 6 or 0, depending on how you want to count things. But yeah, there's this red tooth piece at the top just to point to the numbers. And because it is a reuse for Bionicle, I don't think it works perfectly here. I think 6 to 1 would have made the most sense, but it still works well enough, and I think it's a fun inclusion. You can see all that's connected with a Tactic build at the back, and if you turn this red piece, that turns this barrel up here, and that holds the scoreboard inside it. There's one more thing with the arena, it can actually open up as well. This just gives it a slightly different look. It makes it a little bit different for play. I guess if you want, you could put skeletons on both sides and have 2 people going at the same time. Or I guess you could just try to do wackier trick shots, where you have to somehow get this and hit one side and then hit the other side. Yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had with this. It's entirely up to your imagination, how you place the skeletons, how you spin the spinner. For only $30, they give you a lot to play with here. That's most of what I have to show for the build. But before we move on to the spinner and the minifigures in this set, let me show you some quick examples of how the different weapons work with the bowling. So first, we'll start with a large spear. When I was a kid, I always thought this was the coolest weapon, but in practice, it's actually a bit difficult to spin because it is so heavy. But let's try it out. Okay, we got 5 of them there, but you see Jay actually fell off the spinner from using this. Now let's try one of the axes. Okay, once again, that got 5. And then finally, let's try like one of these double-sided scythes in the back. All right, there's how that looks in Jay's hands, and let's see how it does. Alright, that was a pretty bad spin, but it still actually got them all. So yeah, you can see each weapon works a little bit differently, and of course how you spin it makes it work differently too. But I generally think there's a ton of fun to be had here. I really love this set. I played with the spinners a ton as a kid, and while I didn't actually get this set when I was little, I always wanted it, and I know I would have had so much fun. But now, before we move on to the minifigures in the set, let's take a look at the J spinner. Now this is the spinner for JDX, and it's very interesting because this is the only set that this spinner comes in. Zane DX got a $10 spinner set. Cole DX also did, as well as coming in a larger set. The Kai DX spinner came in a few sets, but this was the only set to come with the JDX spinner. So as such, that makes it a pretty cool exclusive to get. It has the same design as all the other spinners, but it looks fantastic with the gold top and red bottom. And then I love how like the golden J symbol looks on top of the gold piece, with like the little touch of blue at the bottom. Feels very elegant. Now what's unfortunate about this set is this set does not come with any spinner cards. If you guys aren't familiar with 2011 spinners, you won't know what I'm talking about, but part of the spinner game was using cards. You had cards for every character as well as like ability cards. And every like actual spinner set came with a card for the character, feature, as well as 4 ability cards. But whenever spinners came in full-size sets, sometimes they would come with cards and other times they wouldn't. Now unfortunately this is one of the sets that did not come with cards, and as such there is no JDX card at all, because this is the only set the spinner came in, so there was no other chance to get a JDX card. So I do really wish this set came with cards, but at the very least we did get the spinner, which is nice, because it does look very cool. But yeah, I think that's all I got in the spinner, so now let's take a look at those minifigures. So here are the 2 unique minifigures in this set. Of course, the set comes with a total of 7 minifigures, but 6 of them are just these skeleton dummies, and of course they're all the same, so we're only going to take a look at one of them. But then the other minifigure is of course JDX, and the DX figures of course are amazing. I feel like they were definitely ahead of their time, because the level of detail here is very, very impressive for 2011. I think the gold looks fantastic on the blue, and I love like the little dragon face with the lightning shooting out, and like there's super intricate detailing of the dragon's tail at the bottom. I like how the head's designed to look like the set, but the tail's designed to look like lightning. That's a super cool touch. Then of course he's just got the classic ninja hood, and then turning him around and removing that hood, you can see he's got his original symbol at the back as well as his name. This set is also the cheapest way to get JDX at all. I mentioned that spinner was exclusive to this set, but JDX himself only came in 2 sets, this and the lightning dragon, and the lightning dragon is very expensive, especially nowadays. So yeah, this is the cheapest way to get this figure, so here's a very nice inclusion, and just a fantastic looking figure all around. Yeah, I'm super, super happy with this one. And then the skeleton dummies are simple, but a lot of fun. I really like these. So they went with tan instead of white, which is really cool, makes them look more wooden, and it gives these figures uses outside this set. Because in the show, there was like skeleton dummies, and no, they didn't play bowling with them, but they were like hung up on the training course and whatnot, so if you wanted, you could use the figures in this set to make those. It's really nice getting the skeleton torso and legs recolored here, and they use the classic skeleton torso, not the more modern one, so that means it has like these loose flailing arms, which I think makes it extra fun for bowling. Because when they get hit, they just sort of flail all over the place, while the more modern skeletons just have their hands locked in place. So yeah, I think these guys are fantastic, and I love that you get so many of them. Obviously 10 would have been better than 6, but 6 is so many I can't really complain. If you want to make a bigger skeleton bowl, of course you could get 2 of the set, or at least you could back in 2011. But no, I think what you get here is genuinely fantastic. Very happy with the minifigure selection. Would a proper villain have been cool? Yeah, of course. But honestly, for $30 and 372 pieces, I can't complain too much. So overall, what are my thoughts of this set? I really think this set is fantastic. My only real complaint with it is the lack of any cards, and that's just a me thing. If you guys don't care about the cards, that's not going to matter to you. I think back in 2011 it was a fantastic toy, and if you're looking for a set to pick up nowadays, I highly recommend it. I got this for not too much on the aftermarket. I think I got it for like $35, so if you can find it for pretty cheap, I think you should check it out. Because yeah, this is a genuinely very good one with a fantastic play feature. I think it's a lot of fun, and you get some hard to find minifigures with it too. But of course, those are just my thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Doing so helps you see my videos as soon as they're posted, and also really helps support me in the channel. But as for this one, I think that's about all I have to say, so thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!